What up? It's your boy Marco from Upside Down Studios. It is WTF Wednesday. Hope y'all doing good over there. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving, all that shit. We got a few things going on in the news. One conspiracy theory of my own I'm gonna throw out there, and a few other things. I'm sure everybody's been noticing all this bullshit that's going on with this kid who shot the CEO of United Healthcare. Now I got my thoughts about that. I understand the pain that some people feel, but you can see just the ignorance of people out here coming out once again. I mean, if you got an argument about a loved one or, a personal issue that you had, that's fine. I could get that. But these fuckwits out here, well, they're doing this and they're doing that and all this. It's all insurance companies. And you have, for the people who pay for their insurance, you have a choice not to take that insurance. You have a choice to look into it, do your due diligence, something that most of you motherfuckers have lost somewhere in your brains. Look it up. I tell you guys that shit all the time. Not to believe me or anything I say. Look it the fuck up. Do your due diligence already. I mean, so we're going to touch on that. Something else that, I'm kind of on the fence about, we're going to touch on is the UFO issues that we're having that keeps getting trying to swept under the rug, but it's becoming more and more of an issue. Now, some people say that this was predicted. It was supposed to happen on the December 3rd, with that whole AI that came out with that shit. Who knows? Could be a coincidence. I don't really believe in coincidences. It could also be with, us in the UFO world, and they've been waiting for us, Operation Bluebeam. And with all the fuckery going on in the world, the biggest distraction would be UFOs. So we're going to hit on some of that. We're going to hit on a video. I'm going to touch base about a video I've seen that really drives me nuts. Talked a little bit about it last show. And I'm going to keep fucking bringing it up because it just fucking infuriates me with these illegals. So we're going to touch on a little bit of that. Let's see. We got UFOs. We got illegals. We got insurance. And I don't know. There was some other fuckery going on in the world that we was going to touch on. So that being said, we're going to bring I'm sober. You notice that? We are going to bring Big Ricky in the house and motherfucking Greg on the 2s and 3s.
What up, what up?
What up, y'all?
Ricky, I got to say, I'm loving the fucking purple Celtic robe looking thing on you.
It's gray.
It's just low resolution, but yeah.
It's gray? It looks purple.
It's gray. It's
gray.
All right.
Yeah. It's gray. It's that light gray. That camera has a red tint to it.
All right.
Ricky's face is not actually that red.
So, where y'all want to start? Y'all want to start off with this fucking insurance shit going on?
Boy, what's there to go on? Somebody need to make some money. It's how frauds go. Somebody didn't get big enough kickback, and now they're mad. That's.
Well, everybody's. Well, from what I've seen, first of all, for you idiots out, I've seen this post and it's starting to go around Facebook, and it is just the most retarded. Down syndrome people even fucking would call this retarded. Fucking meme or post that I've even fucking. They're saying that y'all better support Luigi like you supported Kyle Rittenhouse.
What? Who's Luigi?
What? Mother.
The dude that shot the CEO.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Defendant Luigi something. So
Luigi.
like there's so much wrong there. There's so much wrong there. You know, Kyle was defending people. This dimwit, we still don't even know if he's the real shooter. You know, or if he is the real shooter, what provoked him or who drugged him to go do what they have to do.
He's still alive, right?
Anybody who's been paying attention to the whole Diddy shit, I forget what the fucking name of the drug is, but we did a show on it. It's a zombie drug that comes from over in Haiti.
It's not that bad. All right, it's not that fucking bad.
You just blow a little dust on somebody and they fucking do whatever you want.
Yeah, well, you should do a little bit of PCP, all right? Not a fucking bowl of it, all right? Moderation, bitches.
The drug I'm talking about, like I forget what the fuck the name of it is, but like the prostitutes in Haiti usually use it, and they'll stick cotton up their nose, and then they stick the powder over the cotton, and then they'll go in and kiss somebody,
Black Widow.
blow out, and now they turn that person into a zombie, and they're coherent. They're totally coherent. You can't tell whether a person is fucking high or not, but they will go and give you everything in your bank account. Go and willingly give you everything in their house, and then like 3-4 hours later, you're sitting on the curb wondering why you did this.
I've heard that, and I've also heard that it actually just puts you in more of like a sleep paralysis.
Again, just like you just said, you only take a little bowl of it, not a fucking. You don't fucking.
Yeah. Motherfuckers need trick.
We all got it tonight.
If you'd like to donate any cannabis to Upside Down Studios, say that now. Thank you, Trump.
Yeah, we don't have fake actors on
cannabis to the Upside Down Studios, hit up our Facebook page. And well, fuck. If we're going that route, if there's any growers or any distributors who would love us to fucking, advertise for you on our page, we will more than welcome your fucking, services, and we will give you fair prices.
I'll be your bitch. You want to sell some shit? I got you. How much you need to sell?
So,
I connect
the new CEO. See, I see this more as a power grab, because that dude was a younger dude, and the new CEO, the dude who took over, is an older looking dude, and this dude looked like he got evil in his face. I ain't even gonna lie. But he's basically they're having a fit about this video that he put out. And all he's saying is, telling his workers and the people at the company not to be worried, that this is all a bunch of media shit, that they're hyping us all up, that, our practices are no worse than anybody else's, which they're a little bit off there. For you people who keep saying that they have a 90% deny rate or whatever, it's false. It's 32%.
What are they denying?
That certain healthcare and certain this and that. They're not saying specifics. They have one TikToker who says they denied some kind of medicine for her brain or something like that because they said it was cosmetic. That don't even make sense to me. No, but that don't make sense to me. But what makes even less sense to me is you're gonna tell me that any insurance company would deny a woman. And she said that there was a doctor that prescribed his medicine, and she had to take this shit. That there's an insurance company that's going to say no to that because it's cosmetic, but they're going to say okay to kids getting fucking sex changes because that's for mental health reasons. Does anybody know what cosmetic means? I mean, even in the car industry, even if you're working on cars, You know, one of the biggest bullshit lines that somebody will give you about your car being fucked up. Oh, it's all cosmetic damage. We can fix that all up. It's all cosmetic damage.
It's like when you take something apart and have all these extra parts.
That happens all the time.
Yeah. Make good
You know,
money.
that whole sex change thing is pretty much in the eyes of a mechanic. Is you're fucking putting new fenders, a new hood, a new front end on the car, but your frame is still fucked up under it.
So that's what people need to understand. Is instead of trying to veer away from it, go alongside it. All right. Be old, but get like a huge dick. All right. It's okay. It's okay.
No, you can't do that. The only way you can do that is you have to be a 65-year-old woman who wants to transit. Then you can get you a fucking 12-inch dick.
Trump's president again. This is America. I can do whatever the fuck I want. All right.
I mean, look, that could be a solution there. And I would love to see how many people have a fit on that. Okay, we're going to give you your health care for your fucking kids. You let them fuck themselves up. The ones who want to switch over or whatever. But also, you have to give bigger dicks to the little white kids that, you know, have to grow up in the locker rooms of the hoods. All paid by the government. If you're paying for these rich kids' titties, I want you to pay for this poor kid's dick. Sounds fair to me.
What's fucked up is it's become so prevalent because it's gotten so cheap. People are paying.
Yeah, that's another thing. When I was growing up, it took thousands. You had to buy, sell your house
20
to get
years and like $300,000, and get what you want. Now it's just a plane ticket in fucking 2 days.
No, dude. Because if your family if you are on Medicare, Medicaid, if you're on welfare, that's what a lot of these people fucking, Well, I know a lot of them realize it, but a lot of them don't realize that all this healthcare shit, it ain't private healthcare. You know what you want? You got the money to do this, and you letting your kids do this. If your kid has $5,000, $10,000, $30,000 to blow on cutting their titties off, fuck, you go right the fuck ahead. I'd be, the IRS might be on your ass for being that young and having that much money, but hey, that's none of my business. What this shit is
medically necessary. Don't ask me about it.
Yeah. What this shit is okay, we're on welfare, we're on food stamps, and my kid wants to be my kid was born a boy but wants to be a girl. So the government has to pay for that, along with my welfare and my food stamps. No.
So you think becoming a girl,
you know how hard it is to get fucking welfare to pay for a tooth? To pay for a fucking tooth?
Yeah.
You're talking about titties there, G.
Now, could that go even deeper into whoever's backing all that is, giving them bonuses and this and that for so many of these surgeries, so many of these surgeries?
Well, I'm sure there is. I mean, you see what happened to the old COVID.
I mean, they're just trying to fucking.
Everybody had, we went from a couple outbreaks here and there to everybody who walked through the fucking door of a goddamn hospital had COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, you have COVID. You have COVID. And Lord forbid if you had a cough, because then you had to fucking get a ventilator. Yeah. So I believe, you could be fucking right, Ricky. And then, again, like, I guess this is more it seems to me like, you remember which Saw was it? Because Saw was based on this. Saw was based on a fucked up insurance. It started off with a fucked up insurance company. They wouldn't pay for this fucking certain fucking procedure for John to fucking get his cancer taken care of, which led him going to the doctor, which got him misdiagnosed because the dumb orderly switched up the fucking things. The other doctor was too worried about fucking the other guy, fucking around on her husband.
So since he went through it that way, ended up like living through 4 movies. Was he pissed that they didn't kill him? Keep him?
No. Ultimately, he was pissed off that his insurance denied the alternative health care.
Right. So it started off as a revenge thing. All right.
Yeah. It was just like all these people are so trying to glorify Luigi over here. It's the same thing.
If he went through all the chemo and shit, I don't think he would have made it to 4 movies, man. Okay.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. So is he pissed?
He
that
did
he's
damn
live?
good not going on
That's
that fucking chemo.
You
Which
know, he's
truth
like, I'm
saved
rich,
his fucking
I'm
life.
white, I just want to die. You know.
I mean, ultimately, that his insurance company saved what was a little bit left of his life. I mean, because there
with all
was
the
10
extra-
Saw movies, so his legacy lived on through 6 more fucking movies.
I mean, that's what happens when you got a bitch with an itch now. You know. Okay,
And
Daddy.
then, you know, but ultimately, and like I was telling the guys before the show started, I mean, if you're on private health care, do your due diligence. You know what you're covered with. You know what you're not covered with. Now, if they go breach that contract, then you have a lawsuit. You know, as long as you got your ducks in order, you have a fucking lawsuit there. That's what them contracts are for.
if you're
You know,
that
you people
in
who are
depth
getting
with
this
your
government,
own, if you're that
you know,
in depth with your own fucking healthcare policy, though, be your own fucking doctor.
right?
If you're gonna
What
do
up,
that much
Willie?
work, just do it yourself.
But yeah, I mean, it's a fucking bullshit. I mean, and then these people who are on, first of all, you know, the whole bullshit. And I will always say this whole shit about the U.S. should have free healthcare. The U.S. does have free healthcare.
Yep.
It does have free healthcare if you humble your fucking self and take your ass down to the welfare office. Now, there's loopholes to that. There are fucking some
When
and
you
some
go
of
in
them
there
loopholes
dying,
are fucking
and they got
ridiculous.
the bill for $1 million. That's free.
You know, them loopholes get fucking, you know, if you don't jump them right, you know, you can get fucked over. But them people who are on, you know, government health care, you are on government health care. That means you couldn't afford to get on any kind of health care, which is a shame. You know, that I'm not, you know, knocking you for not that. But for whatever reason, you couldn't afford regular health care. So now you're on government health care, which used to be some of the best health care you could have ever imagined. But it has gone by the wayside, you know, except, for the Americans at least. All the illegals get the top-notch shit now.
But just like
But-
the old days, you only had a couple fucking players in healthcare.
Right.
You
So,
didn't-
now,
so-
you know, you look at
You
the
need
fucking this free healthcare, and you're bitching that, you know, you don't get the choices that the person who pays for their shit gets. Yeah, that's the way it works. That's just like if you don't pay for private schools, you really got no right to bitch about the fucking free school you're taking your kid to. Help out. Why don't you fucking go to a PTA meeting? Go be a fucking, you know, one of the monitors in the school. Fucking be there for your own kid and your kid's friends. Maybe we wouldn't have all these little fuckwits running around. And you know something I realized, guys? And it was a revelation. It should have been something so like obvious, but it didn't dawn on me. Right now, all these fuckwits that we got running the streets right now, these past couple of generations, especially the ones that are making the babies now, those are all the crack babies. Those are all the crack and meth babies that made it through. No fucking wonder. Drugs are bad, guys. Drugs are bad. Bad.
But I will say this. I've seen this with probably half a dozen personal friends. And the ones that did powder or speed, their children are fucking brilliant. I'm talking
No, we're talking crack babies. We're talking about the babies that were had after the third or fourth cock of the night. You know, in the back alley. It wasn't even a trap house.
Somebody wants the link.
Yeah, that's Willie Santiago. He's a rustler and he does podcasts too. He's a comedian also. That's my boy.
Nice. Sounds very busy.
Hell yeah. We gotta go to one of his wrestling matches, dude. It's fucking they're crazy. They're like old school wrestling.
Nice.
Like sports
Like
wrestling, not entertainment wrestling.
No, it's entertainment. It's entertaining as fuck.
Is it
It's
more like sports wrestling though, or is it like WWF?
no, it's not WWF. It's like no, I take that back. It's WWF, not E.
Yeah, that's a WWF.
No, big difference.
I know about it.
When they switched that F to an E, that shit got shitty.
I know. Vince McMahon had to sell shit because cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, and that's. I don't even know if I want to bring that up, but since you brought it up, but anyways.
That's it.
Somebody,
Man.
look, I want to know because I know Trump got his business, his business theory down. He got a certain particular model he's worked by. I don't think he's more intelligent than anybody else. He hasn't came up with no new strategies. And why would you? What you fucking do work. Even when you lost, you gained. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But you got Elon Musk there. You got Vivek Ramaswamy there. You got all these other fucking big names up there. One of them motherfuckers didn't tell this man that Linda McMahon should not be the educational fucking lady. Look at their kids. Just look at her kids. Linda McMahon should not look. I'm a supporter. I'm a tree, but no, Linda, no. Who the fuck? Oh my God. When I saw that shit, that Linda McMahon for education is worse than Alex Jones for fucking press secretary. And that was thrown on the table. That there's nothing.
They were trying to go after state money. Can I get a second on that? Math checks out for sure.
So again, we'll go along with the insurance thing. Just everybody who is for or against this insurance guy or whatever, do your due diligence because a lot of just here. Number one, and we were breaking this down before the show. Number one, when this first happened, and there was just a couple clips of the video, this dude was a professional with professional.
Everything falls apart right there.
Second day, dude was a professional, and he got on an electric bicycle and rode away. We all know those can be tracked. Those can be tracked.
Since when is there rewrites in a murder?
Oh, dude, this thing keeps going. So then, third, fourth day, somewhere around there, now they got a few more clips, and they say this dude is not a professional. They show him pulling back at the side of his gun. But then it kind of seeps out through the cracks that he had a ghost gun. To me, looking at the video, whether it was a ghost gun or if it was a ghost gun, that means he printed it himself or had somebody print it for him, and he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. It could have been just a slide fucking thing.
Those guns are technically handmade and made without serial numbers. What they are.
Right. But you usually download the free.
They're not 3D printed,
and you fucking print them up.
No, buddy, they're not. They're fucking.
Yeah, I've seen dude print them up and they sell them.
That's not what a real ghost gun is, though. Okay, the ones that they're dumping on the streets are like machine made, like machinists made them, handmade them.
Well, see, that's something totally different. They describe this as a printed gun.
This is.
I mean, that was probably the old school way of doing it. That was probably a better made gun. I'm sure this fucking printed thing was like a throwaway, like a quick throwaway.
It's like 9 months ago. All right.
I don't know, man.
Just saying, like, they're legit.
The way they described it in the article that I read was it was a printed gun. And they called it a ghost gun. So that right there screams to me that he didn't do something right, or it was just one shot and it cocked back. He cocked it one. Now, what it looked like to me was a regular gun with the wrong kind of silencer on it, which prevented it from ejecting the bullet. That's what it looked like to me.
That means he needs to change his gas tube.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
we got that now. And that was like on day 4, day 5, something like that. So then around the next day after they, show them videos and start saying he was an amateur, they find his jacket he was wearing, his backpack, and it was filled with Monopoly money. No bullets, no gun, no nothing else. His backpack, the jacket, and Monopoly money. That was
That's
in a
gonna
park.
put him into a psych ward. So when
So
he go, did they kill him or did they?
no, he's alive. He's alive.
Okay, so yes, he's going to psych ward. That's where they're trying to focus the intent. So who's in the
Well,
psych ward? Who's in the
this is
psych
where
ward
it
for
gets-
him to really get?
This is where it gets even sillier. Because when they found him now 300 some miles away in PA
Yeah.
at a McDonald's,
Right.
They talked to the people, supposedly the people who called 911 and all that. And they said he recognized him from the picture because he was wearing the same exact clothes he was wearing the night of the shooting. What about the coat that was found with the backpack? Because now there's a new coat and a new backpack, and this backpack don't have Monopoly money in it.
But-
It has a manifesto, and it talks about a mom who doesn't have any. Well, there's one story I hear. There's a mom with no legs, and they denied her health care or some shit like that. But if you go into his background, supposedly this is a rich kid that comes from a rich family with money from Maryland. So then there's another story that he was going through constant pain. But again, he was a rich kid with rich parents from Maryland. And why are you on welfare fucking healthcare? Because United Healthcare,
I mean,
I
maybe
don't
he's
think
sad
is
that
a
he got
private
ripped off
healthcare
all his
provider.
fucking guns.
I mean, there might be, but if it was private and his parents were paying for it, he shouldn't have got denied for anything. And if it was government, then this kid's family was either didn't have money or he was estranged from the family. Like maybe he was the dope head and he was kicked out or whatever. But they ain't saying nothing like that. He was dressed pretty fucking well. He looked like an illegal. So he had nice clothes and all that shit on. I mean, so the burgers don't smell right at that McDonald's, if you know what I'm saying. The cop that arrested him, it was his first arrest. He was a new cop. He'd only been on the job for like
This
4
is
months.
so fucking screen written, dude. Like, it's disgusting. It's not even done well, man. Come on.
No, like none of it at all. So I mean,
listen, give me like 50K, man. I got you, all right?
and what really don't make sense to me, I mean, people, and this is I by no means condone this. Neither does Upside Down Studios or anybody else. But if you were going to off this person and you were going to hire somebody to off this person, you are in New York. That is illegal central, and they all got immunity, whether you want to fucking admit it or not. They got fucking high-class hotels that cops aren't even allowed to go across the street. They can't even ask who's on the books at them fucking hotels. Why are you gonna use this little dumb rich kid? Little white dumb rich kid.
I mean, he was a dumb kid.
They could have went and got any of that Tres Leches group up there and fucking.
Maybe they don't speak the language, Marco.
I mean, I'm sure they provide all the fucking healthcare to the Tres Leches. I mean, shit. So speaking of illegals, and like I said, wait a minute. No touching the tips no more. Trump's gonna be president. Boys, they're side by side now. What they do, I don't ask them. They don't tell.
Right. Probably a good thing.
No, it's okay. This is the president and government. They're allowed. You don't have to be like Diddy. You don't have to hide. All right.
So this whole thing, like I seen this video, and it's amazing how quickly people forgot about these folks, and how quickly the media has turned and ignored these folks, especially the ones down in North Carolina, the people who got hit by this hurricane. Nobody, there's only local people reporting on this shit. People are freezing to death. They're dying in
So
tents.
I showed Greg earlier the entire East Coast up until like Tennessee, Kentucky, and everything is a hurricane, but green and blue. It's a snow hurricane, you know.
Yeah. And these people are fucking now. Again, this could go back to the conspiracy theories that they're trying to wipe out that land for the resources that are under there. It's
But you know
very
what's
rich
going,
in cobalt
what's
under
going. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I mean,
there. Yeah, because you know, with
Hoover.
the tariffs that are going on, everybody knew that Trump was going to put tariffs on fucking Mexico. Mexico has the second largest cobalt mine in the world. Well, we found enough cobalt in our ground that outflanks fucking
Just like we
Mexico
found
and
enough
damn near
oil
the other
in
one.
our ground just to.
Right.
He's picking up where he left off fucking 8 years ago. That's
Well,
all.
I don't think Trump has anything to do with this, but I think these other companies,
Me?
like the Black Rocks and shit, are the ones
Right.
that are moving in and wiping that land out. Because, like, if nothing else, I mean, Trump's about his money, but he ain't going. Especially if they're like if there were illegals camped out there, yeah, I could believe that. I could totally believe it. Fuck it, let them all freeze. They should
Even
have
for
never
half
come
price, like you
across.
know.
But being that these and these North Carolina, they all fucking voted red. I mean, they all, you know, I thought that they were going to go for Kamala because at 1 minute that the tables was like kind of sketchy, but they all voted for Trump. I mean, that was a big base. And regardless, fuck who the president is, this comes down to fucking FEMA because we all know FEMA is its own government. They had FEMA people and the mayors yelling at the fucking people, the citizens, because they have nothing to give them. They got no more to give them. They got no resource. You're just gonna have to. There's regular people who went down there and they're reconditioning campers and you know trying to put makeshift fucking just for these people. 3 people just froze yesterday, froze to death in
Leave.
a tent.
Fucking leave. There's nothing there.
I guess there's no way to get out of there.
What happens when you're in? What
fucking
happens when you're
trapped
in your house and you don't have stuff? You leave and get it.
Well,
Okay.
I get that, but I mean, you know, with the way shit is, and people are trying
Go
to
a little
be
more
civil,
east. Hit Kentucky. They'll take care of you.
none of them people got no resources to get out of there. You know, if you lost everything, if you lost everything, I mean, then you become a migrant caravan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, why should? And the whole point of it, I get what you're saying, because when it comes down to it, that's what you got to do. I mean, personally, I thought about it. I'm like, you know, if it was me and my boys and we lost all our shit, well, we're going in the woods and we're making a fucking cabin. You know, it might not be the best fucking, shelter in the world, but that's where we start. We start with the cabin. So, everybody's in that cabin, and then we start branching off. That's how America was started.
A very good friend. It was him, his wife, and 5 or 6 kids in a single wide trailer in Allegheny, living off like wild mushrooms. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, some people live like that.
He didn't quite want to. It was just some shit happened, and that's what happened. But
hey, our forefathers lived like that. I mean, it ain't ideal, but you know what's gonna happen if an EMP strikes, or what's gonna happen if one of these fucking nukes hit? You know, this internet shit is gonna be gone. You'd be lucky if you have any kind of fucking energy. Gas is gonna go.
Elon got us covered with that. Everybody's already said that shit. Like,
oh, so
the best internet in the world, and it's not in the world. Like,
well, but if you ain't got nothing to plug in, nothing else, you know, that internet don't mean dick if you ain't got a phone or a laptop that fucking picks it up.
Marco, the shit's been in everybody's pocket, you know, for 50 years.
Yeah, but if you can't charge your phone, you can't use it.
I mean, I love your optimism, but optimism don't save the fucking team.
All right. You're a fucking machinist and you're a fucking mechanic. If you can't get that battery to charge, we got a fucking problem.
Exactly.
All right. You know,
Ricky, get on that bicycle.
we're gonna
Start
outsource
pedaling.
this.
We gotta
That's not
call
where my skills are at, man. You know that. Right.
Ricky's
Ricky's
like,
agriculture. Ricky is
Ricky
all
was-
I'll
agriculture.
middleman the fuck out of this stuff. All right.
yeah, Ricky was like, nah, my phone ain't that important.
I'm not just motherfuckers.
He's like, wait a minute, I live off the grid. What the fuck? All right, so my whole point of bringing this up is, we got these fucking illegals, and it's just as cold in New York as it is down in North Carolina.
Texas
and
is
you
40
guys,
degrees.
they're living it the
Yeah.
fuck up, while our own
Perfect.
people are fucking freezing to death in tents.
What did I say earlier, Greg, about the worst thing than a lot of shit is what everybody wanting to talk about now is global cooling and how everything's going to fucking freeze. Because we are 30,000 years overdue for a fucking ice age.
Well, we're actually, I think, what was it, maybe 1,000 or maybe even less than that overdue, or way
For ice
overdue, or something for the polar to magnetic, the pole shift,
Which causes another ice age.
right. But and it causes all this global environmental bullshit, which I've been screaming, you've been screaming for fucking ever.
Listen,
Nobody
it only
wants
gets
to
so
get
cold. It only gets so cold. Okay.
The weird thing though is I don't think it's gonna work the way a lot of people do. I mean, I think it's just the cold areas are gonna shift to the warm areas. The warm areas are gonna shift to the cold areas. It's not gonna be a big fucking ice age, like back in the day.
It depends.
We
on
don't
how
have that.
cold
We don't have the atmosphere to support an ice age anymore. But
hold on.
we got fucking like Antarctica is melting. The North Pole is melting, but nothing's freezing, and the water level ain't getting no higher.
But what's going to happen? It's going to be an opposite. All right. So shit that's frozen is melting. Shit that's liquid up here is freezing.
But it's not though. That's the thing. And the problem with that is, if it was freezing, then it would be okay because that would make sense.
Because
one
you
opposite
see
reaction.
videos of an iceberg melting. Are you fucking
But
kidding me?
none of this water, there's none of this water is becoming higher. No water. And we actually, I mean, what was it, 5-10 years ago? We were talking about we lost miles of ocean. Nobody knows where it went. We just lost the water.
That's
And
why
now
there's
all
fucking
this shit is
cities under the
melting.
ocean. Like,
And all this shit is melting. Supposedly, it's supposed to make the fucking the water rise, the water level, sea level rise, which is supposed to flood places and cause all these other catastrophes. But it's not happening. The shit is melting, but nothing's going up. Where's our water going?
Marco, it's going to melt, and they've already done their fucking background on this. If the ocean in itself changes 3 degrees, you're fucked. You're fucked. Everything dies. 3 degrees. Neil deGrasse Tyson had a 3-hour special on this. Okay, 3 degrees. That's it.
Neil deGrasse Tyson has a bunch of bullshit. Hey, Greg, you know what I just noticed?
What?
That says what the WTF Wednesday with macro.
Yeah. You're not going to
Macro.
microdose. You're going to macrodose. Right? That works. We're gonna leave that as that. Big dog in the house.
No, it says what the fuck Wednesday with Marco.
Nope.
Anyway.
Read that again. Read that again.
Wait,
MARCO.
Mine says WTF Wednesday with MACRO.
you're dyslexic.
Yeah, because that isn't. Oh, yeah.
But there's still no K in there.
Yeah, nuts. He sees it now.
What the fuck?
Wednesday.
That's what's going on. All right.
All right, so my whole point of even bringing up these people, fuck them illegals. If anything, we should be taking the planes that were taking the illegals to wherever they want. We should at least take one or two of them down to North Carolina, the closest airport, get them people up to New York, boot them motherfuckers out of them fucking hotels, and be a sanctuary city to our fucking people.
So the only problem with that is all the Mexicans are going to go to North Carolina and work for 10 years and then fucking retire.
Fuck them. If they want to rebuild them, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. You want to rebuild, you want your own shit, fucking go live in the tent.
You want your shit, but you don't want to build it. You don't want to do anything. Outsource it.
All right. So speaking of aliens, we got, since we talked about this before. Back in the day, they had an AI, one of the first AIs. They predicted Trump and Joe Rogan. It wasn't really Trump, but might as well have been Trump and Joe Rogan doing a podcast. 39 days after the podcast, we were supposed to have an alien invasion. That was December 3rd. Nobody saw any alien invasion per se. But since December 3rd, what they're calling drones, and people are getting better and better photographs of this shit. Don't look at these photographs.
Chinese shows are fucking amazing.
Huh?
The Chinese and Japanese drone shows.
Oh yeah, no, these aren't drones, dude. These are actually, I have a feeling that this is Project Bluebeam. Because there's, we got, Biden then started a lot of wars in the last minute.
Yeah.
I mean, and not only that, he's been pushing money to all these other countries,
and for the last 12 months,
that whole pardon thing with a Hunter was just a smokescreen. Because while everybody was pitching a fit about Hunter, the same day he sent another $1 billion to fucking Ukraine.
You have the power to free him. He's your blood. What the fuck? Like, good thing they just didn't let that happen. And, his fucking keeper needs to step her fucking game up, right?
So he's pushing money to the Ukraine. They attacked Syria and said they were going to defend Iraq. Wait a minute. Weren't we just warring with Iraq?
None of it matters. For the last 12 months, Trump has done nothing but go to all these fucking countries and tell you, you do it, I'm going to tariff you. Fuck off.
Yeah, well, we just fucking leveled Syria.
Yeah, well, it's okay. Though we're building, they have to get it from Trump stuff. So.
I love it.
It's Trump's America. You gotta love it.
But so anyways, what the weird thing about this is, this started off, well, at least what I've seen to start off of this, and with a little bit of media was a fucking UFO landed on the tarmac in the UK, in Manchester. The video and pictures were taken by a pilot. It was a very credible pilot. There was a couple pilots out there. When authorities were called, they got within, I think, 50 to 100 feet of it, and it shot up in the air. It was a big silver ball looking thing. They're claiming it was the size of a small car, like the size of a Tesla.
So people are still worried if the UFOs are real, not aliens, but if the metal fucking object are flying around space. They're worried if they seen one.
Well, this is the start. This was the start that I fucking started following this. When they got within range, 50 to 100 foot, this thing shot back up in the air, like just directly, and disappeared. Then within the next few days, every day there was more and more sightings over New Jersey. And they've went from 2 and 3 to 10, 15. Now yesterday? It was reported 50 of them were reported. Supposedly, the local government has been sending drones up to see what they are, but they're not telling anybody what the hell they are. All they're saying is they're drones, but they're drones the size of cars, if not bigger. So then the weird thing is like there's some FBI agents and some other agencies fucking following along with this. It's supposedly investigating. Few of them, and a newscaster, the news reporter, fucking like she reported on it and she got video of it. The drones are following them over to their houses. over their houses and shit. Then there was supposedly a fleet of them over one of Donald Trump's estates. And now they're supposedly going from New Jersey out into Brooklyn. Now,
so
we,
I would assume now that's all the math. Like aliens are Jews, and they're trying to take control over everything.
did you just say aliens were Jews and they're trying to take
It came
control?
from Jersey. Come on. You're
Wow.
proud enough. You can pass as Italian, man. Like
Ricky,
you're taking. It's a power control move.
it's a power move
What
from
if
the
I-
Jews.
Bro,
What's up, Jimmy?
that could have a little bit of merit to it. It really could.
I mean, what the only other time that I've seen something similar, but it didn't have this duration, was when the first bit of the invasion of the migrants coming through, when they first started hitting the California coast. As the whole caravan was coming up, there was a fleet of UFOs that was pretty much patrolling up and down California's coast. That was around the time when they had that supposed energy weapon that was just burning up certain houses and certain streets. Remember that shit?
A year
California. So that's the only time I could think of anything like this. And there's been reports, over throughout the years of supposedly an underwater base off the coast of California that was for USOs, the unidentified submerged objects, whatever the fuck you want. UFOs that go in the water. Down around that where we actually
UA something.
UAPs.
Yeah.
They're calling them UAPs, UAWs. It's pretty much when they start changing the name and throwing more and more letters, there's fuckery involved. Just look at the rainbow community.
It doesn't matter until the Black Knight shows up, and then
Right.
right. Which he's gonna overdo. So
like these UFOs have been there's been sightings over here in Ohio supposedly. They're sprinkled sparsely over America, because we've always had UFO sightings over America. Just these ones in New Jersey popping up out of nowhere. Now they're saying the report today was the 50 UFOs came out of the water. So I'm honestly thinking it might not even be as elaborate as Project Bluebeam, but with all this fuckery, with all this shit going on overseas, and the nuclear threat and all this bullshit, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm almost positive that these are not aliens, that these are not extraterrestrial or interdimensional beings. This is really feeling like, oh fuck, there's some shit really gonna pop off now. We need to put all this secret technology that we had, that we've been saving up, all these fucking special jets and planes and this TR-3Bs and the Auroras and all that. We need to start making sure all this shit works, because all hell might break loose. I mean, it made sense for them to be patrolling the coast of California, because they had that migrant caravan coming up to, 5,000 people walking up through California. Of course, they would have that. They were going up and down the California coast, all the way down Mexico and right back up. And that's what it actually seems like they're doing here, but it's isolated around New Jersey. Now, there is military bases around where they are stationed, and we all know there are secret silo bases in every state. So, I got a feeling this is us. This is our government. This is why the local governments aren't making a big fuss and aren't showing pictures and this and that. This is the reason why Congress really hasn't, they had a couple little hearings. They had a couple, oh, you saw this? Oh, wow. And nobody said nothing. Wow. Where's Elizondo? He's another idiot. Oh, yeah. Let's talk to him. Wow. Because if you don't remember, fucking 7-8 years ago, Luis Elizondo was a big lying idiot with no credentials Now he's in Senate hearings with all kind of fucking classifications. Arrow didn't exist. Now Arrow is the old name. There's some new shit. There's this is something else. Nobody's supposed to be in Antarctica, but they let it go in these hearings. Yeah, there's bases down there. We'll do testing.
When did they sign the peace treaty in Antarctica?
Yeah. Well, you know who else is down in Antarctica? Rothschild Island. Know about that one?
They have their own chunk of land down there, right?
Yeah, it's Rothschild Island.
Yeah.
And then there's it's called. I mean, it's literally that's the name of it. There's New Swabenland. That's the fucking German base that was down there. There's the little Russian fucking.
No, Swabenland is in South America.
New Swabenland is in South America.
Okay.
New Swabenland is in Antarctica. That's where Admiral Byrd was at. Where they put up what was it the Camp America, Camp something or other. What up, Willie? So yeah, I mean, I don't think these is UFOs like per se, like they're aliens. I think this is our shit, and some bad shit's ready to go down, and they're trying to hide it. Because every other country outside of America is giving their fucking citizens bug out bags. They're giving it. There's been letters coming out to how to protect yourself in a nuclear fucking war. There's they're giving out supplies. They're telling people where they could go. All that shit. No, the Earth is not flat.
That's a
question. I think it ain't mapped out like we were told. Things
ain't not round
exactly
either. So
yeah.
Let's go to geometry class now.
Yeah, Elon Musk would have told us if the Earth was flat.
Yeah, but like I said, it's also not round.
No, it's kind of
not spinning around each other either. So
they're not who? What?
It's not spinning around each other either.
What do you mean it's not spinning around each other?
The planets.
What do you mean? You don't think they're rotating like this while they go around?
No. Have you seen a diagram of what they're really doing? It makes perfect sense. So it's like a spiral tornado with like extra planets on the side, like spinning in its own rotation, going forward. That's why with every year we go by, time is getting faster and faster. You do realize
time isn't really like time is just a concept. It was man-made.
Bro. But with if you want to put a label on it so we can have this conversation and discuss it, with the expansion of the universe as a whole,
right?
Time is getting faster.
Well, supposedly, I mean, and I forget which scientist proved it. Like, the black hole. Like, to go to a black hole, it isn't sucking things in the black hole. It's actually pushing things out.
No, that was something that, like, they seen one get so full. They said that's what happened.
Well, no, because you can even see where the planets are on the legs of our galaxy. Once upon a time, unless it's a Mandela effect, this is the way they're explaining it. Once upon a time, we were on branch such and such, closer to the center of the fucking black hole of our galaxy. Okay. And now we're on the outer leg, like way out here.
I can see that theory, yeah.
So that would explain the expansion of the Earth. It wouldn't explain why all of a sudden shit started doing that, because we ain't supposed to be switching legs. But hey.
But what if everybody back then was already an enlightened being into spirit realm, and the black holes were fucking exploding and then putting out enough force?
I think if you go by the quantum theory and how they used it to develop or manifest time travel or space travel and wormholes, I honestly think somebody already figured that out. And these black holes are remnants.
Tell you this from a fucking acid story.
Yeah, right? Black holes are just remnants of wormholes that were there by whatever other technology.
Change terminology on, yeah.
So I mean, there might be a wormhole at the center of our galaxy. Well, no shit. Maybe somebody wants to come to our galaxy. There's this black hole over there, and now they're changing the names of black holes to singularities, which is kind of odd. So now if you say there's a singularity there, or when they
first seen it on the telescope, and they reject all stuff, it was like one of the single greatest moments in human history. That's why it's called single.
I don't think that that's why that's there, but I mean,
dude's a name that had a fucking interview, man. You can watch it. You know.
All right, so we're coming up on the end of the show, so we got this last topic. Jared actually sent me something that was kind of odd. We can't explain the flat Earth because it's not flat. We just went through we just went through that, Willie.
Throw a curveball across your room right now.
Mm.
All right, that's what's going
on. And if it's a bouncy one, it'll come back at you. So Jared sent me this information on Ohio Senate Bill 529. It's called the Atmosphere Protection Act. Now, to read it, it's only 3 pages. It's only 3 pages of.
I kind of figured that, but that was what happened. We read it late.
You know,
there's legislation on this is only 3 pages long, and it's about to hit the governor. And what's weird about it is it's not so much of that it's anything bad. It's just what it reveals that's already there. And it says it's amending certain codes that are already in place to prohibit a person from engaging in solar radiation modification, and to name the act the Atmosphere Protection Act. So I'm gonna just run this. It's a little bit long, but I'm gonna run it down real quick on what is already in place that they're saying that is not allowed anymore. And now this is in Ohio, just in Ohio. This ain't the federal.
Let's get real here. Between 6 stars across the world, HARP, and Antarctica, it's all ties in together.
Right. So this right here is just the Ohio bill. It says the definition of a pollutant means any aerosol, biological, transbiological, or genetically modified agent, chaff, metal, radioactive materials, acid, alkali, chemical, particulate, contaminant, smart dust, which Ricky got the scoop on some smart dust. That's some fucked up shit. Smoke, soot, fume, vapor, air pollutant regulated by the state. An air pollutant regulated by the state. Just think about that one. Mechanical vibration, that's an odd one, or physical agent, which, how are you modifying? Yeah. Waste, including that materials that are recycled, reconditioned, reclaimed, solid, liquid, or gas, or thermal irritant, or artificially produced electric field, magnetic field, electromagnetic fields, electromagnetic pulse, sound waves, sound pollution, light pollution, microwave or ionizing and non-ionizing radiation. And solar radiation modification means an experiment in the Earth's climatic system involving the release of pollutants that reduces the amount of sunlight reaching the Earth's surface. So, all that shit there, pretty much is everything that we've been, us tinfoil hat people have been talking about.
Experienced
about weather modification. This includes chemtrails. That's what the chaff and all that shit is. This includes the weather modification, the cloud seeding, the tornadoes and hurricanes that didn't just get put in certain places. And we won't even talk about North Carolina. What about fucking Epstein Island that magically got hit with the hurricane while you guys were telling Trump he was a liar because he's told you the hurricane was going one way, but it was actually going another, but you told him to say a different thing, and when everything got fucked up, it was Trump's fault, and nobody realized that old Epi Island got totally wiped clean.
No, they're all Catholics, and that's what happens.
Ricky, why don't you let the men know what the smart dust is?
I probably assume that they're semi-organic. They're like hybrids, more than likely. And they're bonding to your nervous system,
it's nanoparticle, and they do what? They track your health, they track where you're at, they track whatever, and this is stuff being used in Ohio. You know,
Yeah.
because this is saying that you can't do this. So
This
obviously,
is
it's
how
being
you
done.
implant AI into every living thing.
You do it through the air.
Huh? But once you get a high enough concentration in you, now you're AI.
Well, not only that, but I mean, if you go back to the old chemtrail theory, I mean, aluminum and metal particulates was one of the big things that people were bitching about. That's what the chaff is. And you know, they claim that they use this to reflect the sun's radiation or whatever, but that shit comes down. It's microparticulates. You breathe it in, you breathe it in. Now, what do we have all over fucking America? We have microwaves. Microwaves are everything. The internet is ran on microwaves. Your fucking everything is ran on microwaves, not just in your house. So, what happens when you stick a fork or an aluminum can or any kind of metal in a fucking microwave?
Sparky, Sparky, Sparky.
Y'all don't have a connection. It's 2024, bro. Like $120. Put anything in there.
All right, so we disconnected from. So I guess that was the
So
end of the show.
what this?
No, we disconnected from Instagram. We're still on everything else.
Oh,
So
okay,
what this is somebody trying to fucking throw a paw, I guess, in the control of knowledge. That's all everything is. They don't want you doing any of the shit. They don't want you knowing about it. So when shit goes down, you have to rely on them.
Well, I get that, but what I'm saying is all this shit is here. All this shit, what I just read off is shit that is already being used in just Ohio alone. We know everywhere else is probably a lot more. All the way to the space-based platform fucking shit that Ohio. So for all you fucking nitwits out there who think that we're crazy for saying that the chemtrails are above us, we're getting choppy now. For all you nitwits out there who say there isn't any weather modification, for all you nitwits out there who say that there isn't some shit in the air that's fucking us up that our own government is putting there, locally, our own state government. Fuck you guys.
What?
Y'all got anything else?
You want to doubt us now?
Nope.
Are you fucking kidding?
Well, that being said, because I noticed my internet and everything is getting real choppy now. Like I'm rocking back and forth like I'm autistic, and it's like pixelated as hell. So we must have touched on a little touchy subject. Guess it might have been real. Do your own diligence. Look up your own shit, guys. Don't believe a fucking word that I said tonight.
Read the Emerald Tablets. All right.
Yeah.
Go read it. All right. Come back.
Emerald Tablets are tough. It'll fucking open your eyes to some shit. So with that being said, from Upside Down Studios, y'all be good to each other. Oh, and if you're anywhere near Ashtabula this Saturday, I'll be at Jimmy Ward's comedy place, the Jiggles, something like that. Doing a guest spot up there. So come check us out. I guess that's it. We
All
out.
right. Night, y'all.